Free motion sewing is stitching on your sewing machine but being able to sew in any direction. You can do this with a straight stitch to create a quilted look or use the machine's satin stitch and create your own monogramming. With some machines, you can buy a free motion foot like this one, but just because you don't have this foot doesn't mean you still can't do it. You will need to have the ability to put the feed dogs down. Check your manual to see how to do this. The feed dogs need to be down to prevent them from moving our fabric. If you don't have a free motion foot, you can simply remove the presser foot and presser foot holder. You still need to be able to lower the foot lever, but you don't want it to press on the fabric. For single stitching free motion, such as getting a quilted look, you should use spray basting to hold your layers together. My layers are fabric, cotton batting, and then fabric again. Decide where you want to stitch, like outlining something on your print, or use a fabric marker to draw a design to use as a guideline. By turning your hand wheel, put the needle in and out of the fabric and pull your top thread to bring up the bobbin thread so that both are on the top side of your quilt sandwich. Then put the foot presser lever down and start sewing, following your pattern. Sew as slowly as you can and push your fabric as steady as you can to make the stitches as even as possible. Take your time and don't stress out if you're not following your pattern perfectly. Also, be sure to keep your fingers as far away from the needle as possible. For a regular sewing machine, it's recommended that you do this for smaller projects rather than try to do it with full-size quilts. When you finish sewing, lock off your stitch by going over your last hole twice and then lift up on the presser foot lever to release the thread tension to make it easier to pull out your fabric. To do free motion on a single layer of fabric, such as with a monogram, put your fabric into an embroidery hoop and make the fabric as taut as possible. Draw your design on the right side of the fabric. The right side should be on the inside of the hoop. Place your hoop under the needle, and for monogramming, select a satin stitch, which is just a zigzag stitch with a small stitch length. I have both threads on the right side of my fabric and I start sewing, moving my fabric by holding onto the hoop. If you move too fast so your stitches look a little thin, you can just go back over the area to make it look more filled in. Again, take your time. If your stitches don't look good, such as the tension looks too loose, it's probably because you forgot to put your presser foot lever down. Doing free motion sewing isn't easy, and it may take a lot of practice, so try it on scraps until you get the look you desire. Once you do master it, it's a fun way to embellish your projects. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe to get notified of our weekly releases. Also check out ProfessorPincushion.com to view our complete library with well over 350 sewing tutorials. If you would like to directly support us, you can check out our Patreon campaign and earn some exclusive perks. Thanks for watching.